back to the Wealth Made Simple podcast. I got here with me one of the world's best marketers in the game, Mr. Jason Wojo. How's it going?
Good, bro. Thanks for having me.
I'm absolutely stoked to have you. Tell us a little bit about yourself, man. I mean, I just started doing a little bit of research on you. Most of my friends already know who you are. Your name pops up everywhere. You're one of the biggest marketers in the space. But I want to kind of reel it back a little bit and kind of figure out how you got into entrepreneurship and then crossed over to doing online internet marketing.
Yeah, so I originally started my whole journey in culinary school, crazy enough. I was in culinary school for a year. I went to SUNY Delhi, which is like upstate New York, near like Oneonta area. I did that for a year, and I started hating it. I was just like, I don't want to be a cook. I don't want to make $15 an hour. And I was stressing me out because my dad and my mom were always in my face about like what I was going to become and if I was going to be okay and all this stuff. Like parents are always worried about that stuff, so I get it. And then I started going online and getting curious. Yeah. And I started like, researching about like Pokemon cards and flipping. Like that's actually one of like my biggest side hustles is Pokemon card flipping.
Really?
So that's all I do like on the side now. Like I have my agency and that's cool, but I freed up so much time that I built like an esports team on the side with Pokemon trading cards, and we have streamers who just stream all day on Whatnot, and just I provide them inventory and they just sell cards all day, like around the clock.
Wait, explain that to me. How do you make money off of owning Pokemon cards?
So like we'll buy big booster boxes.
Okay.
Right? And they'll have 36 packs in them. I'll spend $200 on a booster box, and I'll take all the good pulls, which you get 36 pulls, you'll get 15 good pulls out of a pack.
Yeah.
Well, out of a box, and I'll take the 15 pulls. They go on there for like, these are cards that range from $10 all the way up to like $300. Wow. So it just depends on what the market values them at.
Yeah.
And then they'll go on Whatnot and start a bidding war. And all these people will join your live, like an Instagram live.
Yeah.
Except all of them are there to buy your cards. So now when I put up a card, it has a timer, like 30-second timer, and now all of them are just swiping and bidding, like $6, $7, $8, and it's just like a huge bidding war.
This is on what? This is on where?
Whatnot, it's called.
So
it's basically like WhatsApp, but Whatnot. Just a knot on the end, N-O-T.
And
it's so badass, dude.
A business model you have going right now.
Bro, I tell people this all the time to do it, and they always look at me like I got four eyes. We started 2 months ago. It does $100K a month already. And I just...
Wait, hold on a second. Hold on a second. Because I had tons of Pokemons growing up. I remember playing the blue version, the Sapphire, Ruby. I mean, bro, I was obsessed with Bulbasaur, bro. You mean to tell me I can buy Pokemons today at 32 years old and still make money off of it? You're making six figures.
Yeah, like we have the streams, like they'll go on live for like 5 to 7 hours though. It's a long stream.
Yeah.
So 5 to 7 hours, they'll get about 200 cards sold. So I supply a lot of inventory.
Okay.
So like, I'll spend like 10, 15 grand a week on inventory. So I'll spend like 60K a month to do six figures a month, which is not bad.
Yeah.
Like I'll take the profit. It's fun. Yeah. And it's something that I actually enjoy. Wow. So we have streamers who just line up where it's like Pokemon, and then they do Magic, sports. Like I just supply them inventory, and then they just do it.
They're selling these live.
Yeah, and then
it's like an auction.
Yeah, and then I pay each streamer a very low base, but a percentage of what they sell. So like they're incentivized to build the bids and like do all that.
That is so cool. And dude,
they love it. And the crazy part is I took all my childhood friends and I let them do it because they're still stuck in like the, make $3,000 a month and that's okay. And like, that's weird.
Yeah.
But the $500 a month plus the 2.5% of them is like the fucking world.
Wow.
So like they enjoy it. They do one stream a week each and like they love it. So I'm just like, all right, keep doing it. And that's it. I mean, and then we just post like videos of like openings and card openings and stuff. And like I buy like those, I do like boxes, like secret boxes where you'll pay like $400 and they'll give you a signed NBA basketball. And you open it, you see who you get. So I make videos like that. And then I hang them up on my house if they're good. If they're not good, then I'll just sell them to try to break even.
So this was your first business, was selling Pokemon?
First business, yep. And that was when I was in culinary school, and I started like making like $200 a week, which is not a lot to people listening, but to a college kid who had no money, dude, $200 a week, like you were killing it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I was saving money, and then I started going to these conferences that the school had. These teachers would say, "Oh, there's a chef coming to speak. Like, let's go to the auditorium, whatever the hell they call it."
Yeah.
So I'd go there, and they would always talk about, oh, you got to work $15 an hour. You're not going to make $100,000 a year until year 10. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, dude, like, this is not it. So then I finished my semester, dropped out. I kept doing Pokemon cards.
So you dropped out of culinary school. Okay.
And then I went back home to live with my parents because I started, seeing how much kids were paying for room and board, and I was getting scraped. I had a tennis scholarship at the time, so I got like some money for that. And then I went back home, got another tennis scholarship, went to business school instead. And then for those 3 years, I learned like dude, there's like websites like EDU Birdie and all these like automation sites. Before AI was really a kick, I found about all of these like multi-chat browsers. Like, bro, there's so many things I was doing in college. I was doing EDU Birdie for research papers. I was using multi-login and letting people log into my screens on computers at the school, and they would take my tests for me. So like, dude, I know so many things that like, dude. So like, that's where I learned a lot of tech.
Is this what school taught you?
The internet did. So like, I did a lot of that, and then I started realizing like I had a real skill set for like solving problems and like just weird tech nerdy stuff. Like, I'm a big introvert, like massively. Like to be truly transparent, I haven't left the house in like 10 days. This is the only time I left the house. So I don't leave the house for anything.
Appreciate you leaving the house for the pod.
I don't leave for anything, dude. Like, I love being in my zone of genius and like doing the things that I enjoy. And like, I like my ads. I like, you know, creative. I like funnels. I like the things that keep me sane. I feel like the more times I go outside, I just get like more drained from drama. And I'm just like, oh, let me just stay in my house.
So you're more cave-like, where you could be locked in for hours at a time and not even know what time of the day it is.
And then like I put more money into my house than entertainment. So I'll buy things to keep me at my house so I can stay focused, like sauna, cold plunge, basketball court, like all these things. I'm like, let's go there, because if I just go to the movie for an hour, I go here for an hour, now we're getting distracted. All of a sudden we're at a bar drinking. I'm like, I don't like all that. So I just put more stuff in the house. But
there's something to be said about that, Jason, because I started doing that too, and I started seeing more and more of my successful friends spending more time at home rather than trying to go back to the gym to hit the sauna or go back to a facility to go take an ice bath. My friends and I were buying saunas at our houses. We're buying the ice bath at our place. We're spending extra money to set up the film room so we don't have to leave the house. And I'm realizing, man, not only am I spending more time at home, I'm creating more memories with my daughter and with my wife, because I would normally leave and not be able to see certain things that would happen at the house because, I'm at the sauna or at the gym or just away from my home. So I think it's a part of also just realizing that the more successful you become too, you start to become a little bit unrelatable a bit. Do you feel that sometimes?
So the thing that I've always branched it to is that the reason why I'm seeing this like caveman stuff more often is because like I was talking about drama, I think mental health is like worse than ever. Like with all the social media stuff and expectations and like expectations versus reality and all these things that people are going through, it makes people like us who have a higher level of intelligence get exhausted from normal everyday people. So that's why we kind of cave ourselves in. And I just came to that realization over the last like maybe 8 to 12 months. I started to realize like, why am I not going out as much? And then when I went out, I was always getting into conversation I didn't want to get into, talking about this politic thing and this thing. And I'm like, I don't want to do, I just want to get my food and get the hell out of here. Like this is like, and that's when I was, where is my zone of genius? Where am I the happiest? And that comes to when you're more successful, you're actually happier with being by yourself most of the time. That alone time is massively important. Like a lot of people say, oh, alone time means that, you know, you got depression or whatever. It's like, no, you're just happier with yourself than getting all of the approval from everybody else around you. And that's just what I was like really happy about. Like I found that early at a young age. Most people are still chasing validation. It's like, I'm okay with being in my house. And my friends make fun of me all the time. They're like, oh, like we don't invite Wojo because Wojo won't come. I'm like, yeah, because I don't want to, like football games. I don't want to go to the Arizona Stadium, drive there, be in traffic for an hour, park my car, walk away there 3 hours. I'm sweating. I go home. I'm like, dude, I'm burnt. Like I'd rather just sit at home and watch the game.
You can watch the game from home.
And I get a better view at home.
Yeah, you
like
do.
I see everything.
There's so many times where I'm at like a UFC fight and I paid like thousands of dollars to be like on the floor. And then I get there and I'm hyped up, you know, got the drink. I'm now walking, I'm getting all hyped up. And then I'm like, oh, snap. I have to look around people. I have to look past this person just to see to the ring. I paid $3,000 for this ticket and I could have paid $79 to UFC online, ESPN, and could have got, you know, perfect seats at my house and ordered pizza to my house and not have to worry about getting up from my seat. Totally get that. All right. So Pokemon was the first passion, and then you left culinary school, came back home, and then you started realizing, what? I need to make money, but Pokemon is not going to cover all of the bills at this point in time. So when did you start pivoting?
Then I got more curious on like eBay and YouTube and started looking up more stuff about Pokemon. And then I found Ty Lopez's ad about the whole like SMMA.
Was it the garage ad?
Yes, it was the garage ad. I got hit with that. That's one of the most iconic ads of all time if you ever watch it.
Yeah.
So I got that, and at the time I didn't have a lot of money. I maybe had like $3,000 in my name.
Yeah.
And the course was $997, and I was like, fuck it, like I gotta try. So I did it, and I was so scared, dude. I was like, oh my god, I spent like 1/3 my net worth on this. So did that. Went through pitching like local businesses, local brick and mortar, 7-day free trials. That was the whole point of his program in the beginning. Then he updated it over the years, but it was 7-day free trial, get them in, then charge $500 a month, and it was Facebook ad management, social media management, all that jazz.
Yeah.
Started doing it, and then I got to like $3,000 to $4,000 a month, and I was like, I don't want to go get a job. When I'm done with school, I'll just go take this money and just go live somewhere. And when I was a kid, we'd always go on cruises. That was the best thing that my parents could do. We'd go on Carnival because, like, cruises are really cheap.
Yeah.
Like, people see cruises, they're like, wow, so expensive. I'm like, bro, it's way cheaper to go on a cruise than go anywhere else.
You're absolutely right.
So, like, we used to go on cruises, and that was the best my dad could do, and I appreciate it. But, like, we went on Carnival, and I used to see palm trees in Florida. And I was like, palm trees are really cool. Like, I want to live where there's palm trees. And I would always rave about these palm trees. It was a thing when I was a kid.
Yeah.
So I said, if I'm going to move anywhere, I'm going to move where there's palm trees. So then I went on Facebook Marketplace. I found this place for like $750 a month in rent. FaceTimed the guy. He was like, I've never been FaceTime. I was like, dude, I'm not a weirdo. Look at my Instagram. Like, I'm not crazy. I don't need to view it. Like, is it really $750 a month? Like, I need to get the hell out of New York. So then I paid him, Venmo'd him. He was like so stunned. And then I drove 18 hours, went to Orlando from New York, and then I just like started grinding on my laptop and just I was doing cold calling, still doing cold email. I was doing the same stuff that Ty was telling me to do. And while I was, pitching places, I did have to lose like 1/3 of my clients because they all wanted me local in New York. And I was like, damn, I got to give up 1/3 of my income. And then another half of it was going to rent now.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't making as much. So I was like, okay, while I was pitching and driving around local businesses, I did Uber Eats in between.
Yeah.
So,
Wow.
Dude, I was like,
You're grinding.
I was sweating. Yeah.
Yeah. Full hustle mode all the way. And you got the place for $750. Was it what you expected? Was it nice? Was it not?
It was
nice?
actually really nice. I lived
trees?
in a modular home when I was a kid.
Okay.
So one of those like pre-made like $70,000 modular homes. I went in this room, and it was like 400 square feet room with a bathroom. And I was like, bro, I never had my own bathroom.
Wow.
Never did. We all shared the same bathroom at home.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn, this is really cool. Let me had a dog there. Never was allowed to have a dog when I was a kid. So actually, it was a blessing in disguise. And they were like really awesome kids to live with. And I still taught them every day.
And this was your first time moving away from your parents. So can you talk to the listener right now and maybe share with them how impactful just leaving New York was for you and being on your own in Orlando?
I think it was about leaving the old environment. A lot of people who stay in the same environment, they just tend to have that complacency. Yeah. So I had to expand on that environment and like see what was new. Like I had to take on my own bills. I had to go to the grocery store by myself. Like I had to do all these things that like actually made me really excited.
Yeah.
Like now that I look back at it, like there were things that were fun. Like driving in a place where you don't know where to go. Always using Google Maps. And I was always trying to get around. I was like, this is cool
fun.
Like that. I don't know where I actually am. I have no freaking clue what road I'm on. Like it was just like curiosity to me. And I knew I had to make a change because all my friends around me were like, yeah, like what's your resume? What's this? I'm like, oh my God, this is like so crazy. I'm just like so beat by this whole resume thing.
Yeah.
And then on top of it, like I knew that I was smart. I just knew that I was an introvert, and I always tried to hold that against me.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, like, am I going to be successful if I can't like talk to people in big crowds and do all these things and yada, yada, yada. And I always like would put that in the back of my head. And then I realized like, you know what, if I'm really that good, like people will still seek me even if I'm introverted and can't have crazy social conversations. So that's where I was like, all right, I'll just stick to what I'm good at. I'll stick to one thing, get really good at it.
Yeah.
Right. And I saw all these people online who were like, oh yeah, side hustle, side hustle, side hustle. I was like, I'll do a side hustle once I have money. Right. Because that's where the side hustle becomes like a passion project.
Correct.
It's like an older guy who's retired building his garage. It's like, that's the way I look at it.
Yeah.
Like the guy retired, now he can do whatever the hell he wants with the lawn, with this, with that. It's kind of like my dad. So I was like, all right, once I make money, now I can do side hustles. And I put the Pokemon stuff to the side because I just didn't have that much cash on hand for inventory. I knew I had to keep spending more on inventory. It's kind of like the e-com model. E-com is really hard to make money. Like people talk about all the time online. It's like there's only a couple people that I know that actually make real money on e-com. It's like Josh Snow, you probably know who that is. Yep. Like he's a good friend of mine. He kills it. And it's like the margins are lower. I was keeping inventory, get a warehouse. I'm like, let me just do services. Higher profit. I can use my brain. I can do this. And that's what I went for instead. And then I just started, making funnels and building clients' websites and doing all that. And then I kept building the agency.
When did funnels enter into the conversation? Because for me, I didn't know what a funnel was until my brother taught me what a funnel was, and he was a big Sam Ovens and Russell Brunson fan. Primarily, he was in Sam Ovens' mastermind and studying the whole Sam Ovens Kool-Aid. But it was just one day that he brought the whole idea of what a funnel was, and he drew the funnel on a board and just said, Karlton, everybody funnels down into the offer. And I'll never forget that conversation that he had. When did that moment happen for you when you learned funnels and you knew that most business owners don't know what the hell funnels are?
So when I found out about a funnel, it was when I was building websites. And I started seeing all the traffic not converting as high. So like when you send traffic to a website, it does way less because there's too many options on the website, too many buttons and shit.
Yep.
So then I had a mentor at the time. His name was Greg Berry. He was very smart. He runs like a t-shirt embroidery business. And we ran this company called Hustle Out. And he's one of my first clients on Upwork. That's where I used to get clients too once I got more into the internet and like funnels. So he had a ticket for an event. I went to a ClickFunnels event and they were talking about low ticket funnels.
Okay.
And I was like, what is a low ticket funnel? Like, this is weird. And Greg's like, yeah, self-liquidate your ad spend. Like, it's a funnel. There's upsells, downsells. I'm like, Greg, this is like too much shit for me right now. Like, what? Why am I going to this event? It was in Texas. He got my planes. He was a very good friend of mine. Went there, and I learned about this low ticket funnel thing. And I forgot what the guy's name was up there. I think it was Frank Kern. I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
And he was like, yeah, dude, sell something for $7 and then keep upselling and keep raising the price on the add-ons. And I'm like, doesn't that kind of seem weird? Like, why not just sell the whole thing in one batch? He was like, no, dude, like it's a higher conversion rate on the 7, then you go 27, 47, 97, you keep hiking. And I was like, okay, I'm going to do this. He's like, dude, here, like, yeah, there was like a little package at the event. It was like $397 or whatever the hell it was.
Yeah.
It was like a downsell, and I took it. It had funnel templates, and I was like, ooh, templates. Okay, cool, I'll take that. So then I got that, went home. And I started thinking, like, what do business owners want right now that's a low ticket offer? And at the time, no one had this idea. This was the offer that, like, put me on the map in the beginning. And I called it the 100 ad templates. Okay. So I was like, I got these funnel templates. Cool. Let me take 100 of my best ads, script them out, do fill in the blanks. I put it all in Canva. It was 290 slides, and I sold it for $17. Bro, I shit you not. This offer changed my life forever. I launched the ads. I wake up in the morning, okay? I'm scrolling on my phone, and all I see is Stripe fucking just down the row. And I'm like, what just happened?
Payments are happening on your Stripe account.
It was ridiculous. I did, the first month I ran that offer, I went from $6-7 grand a month to $30 grand a month.
Whoa.
The next month I went to $170,000 a month, and my income and life changed so goddamn quick. And I got ahead of the whole low ticket thing when everybody else was like sleeping at the wheel about it. This was like 4 years ago. 4 or 5 years
ago. This was in 2021?
I got ahead of this low ticket thing when everyone was at the fucking wheel asleep on it.
Wow.
Now it's harder because ad costs are higher over 5 years of compounding and so much competition. Now everyone knows what low ticket funnels are, and it's like it's insane now. There's freaking one every time I swipe.
Right.
And I got on it, and I was running ads just in the US, and it was starting to churn. I was getting all these buyers, and all of a sudden on the thank you page, I put a Calendly link. So I was like, oh, like I'll let people book a call so like I can onboard them for a $17 product. What the hell was I thinking? I was like, bro. So I'm getting the calls though. Like, here's where things got fun. People get on the phone. They're like, dude, this stuff is great. Do you have one-on-one coaching? I'm like, what the fuck is that? I do services, $500 a month. They're like, no, I just want you to look at my ads and look over my stuff. Or can you just do it for me monthly?
Ooh.
So then I started getting all these book calls, and people were just giving me money on the phone.
New problem.
Bro, it was crazy. And then my life just changed over 4 months.
Hold on. How fast were you able to spin up a consulting business or an agency that can essentially audit people's ads and then start providing them? Because it's just you at this current moment.
Yeah.
You created one offer through one funnel, low ticket, and dropped it. Changed your life, started making 60 grand a month. Now people are saying, hey, I need to work with you on this. How fast did you solve that problem?
Man, I was a psycho. I did that shit in like a week. I solved that thing so quick because I had to. And that was one of the things I always tell people.
Money loves speed.
I was like, dude, if I just have a problem, like the biggest question I get asked is, why are paid ads so important? And I always say, because they expose every problem in your business that you don't see. If you make money organically and with word of mouth, those clients will never give you a problem because they already trust you.
Right.
When you sell cold traffic people, they will now define how good your product is.
Correct.
Because they don't know that much about you. They're taking a leap of faith or a chance. So now when I'm running ads, I'm like, okay, like, you know, like my products in the beginning of being made, they were not the best.
Yeah.
I put them together. I thought they were good, but then I started getting feedback. Oh, I don't like how the calls are next day. I don't like how the calls are only 30 minutes. I started getting all this feedback, and I'm like, shit. So then I had to keep changing the product over time, and then it became better because I had ads behind it.
Yes.
And like when people started asking for the services, like, dude, I was working 19 hours a day. I didn't do anything else. Oh my God, I did nothing else. And since I was making more money, I could buy now Uber Eats to get the food, and so I could still say like, healthy and eat and shit. So then, I started handling all these clients on my own. Like, that's what I was doing. So I would get up at like 7-ish, get my Dunkin' Donuts, come back home 7:30 till like 11 with sales calls.
Okay.
I was hammering all the deals, and then from like, I had lunch, and then from like 1 p.m. all the way to 8, fulfillment. That's all it was for me. And
Which means you're sitting there looking at other people's ads, emailing them back what they should be doing.
No, they were booking calls. They wanted the recordings of the calls. That was the whole point of the offer that I kind of shot myself in the foot for, was that they all wanted to get on calls. So I would get on like 20 calls a day. It was absurd. It's 20-minute, 30-minute, 15, check in here. Like, it was crazy.
When did you stop doing that?
When I hit burnout.
Yeah.
I hit burnout. I had like a huge like health problem. That wasn't like a health problem, but it was like I started to lose weight and I was having stress, and I like randomly passed out one day. And I was like, holy shit, like I can't do all this anymore. Like, I was very exhausted. And then like I realized like, I had to get IV and fluids, like nothing insane, but it was just like a wake up call for me.
Yeah, something has to change.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're passing out on the floor.
And then that's why I started going on Upwork, Indeed, LinkedIn, like trying to find people, hire them. I started posting on my Instagram story, hiring people there. That's a big hack for us, is like my Instagram story gets me the best employees.
Really?
When I go cold Indeed and LinkedIn, you're trying to sell people on the mission that you have, when if they've been following me for a couple of years, bro,
they know what mission you have.
They are in.
Yeah, we just hired a tax pro, and I had been posting on my social media, 100K CPAs, 100K enrolled agents, and it's because we are growing so fast that like the hiring agencies, Indeed, like these people are coming in super green, bro. Like, they don't understand what tax strategy is. They may have the CPA license or the EA license, but they don't know how to consult tax strategy, what tax strategies are available. They're just super green. But as soon as I started creating posts on my social media account that I'm looking for more enrolled agents and CPAs with base salary 100K, boom, within the first 30 days, we just landed like a rock star. I'm super stoked about that. And I think that's an underutilized like marketing technique for recruiting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The thing that someone always told me was, oh, you don't want to recruit people from your story. That's what they used to tell me. They're like, oh, because if they become an employee, they're going to swipe your shit and run because they see how good you're doing. So they might try to steal your process and all that stuff. So I was like, if they want to do it themselves, they would go buy a program or get in the right room and they would do it themselves.
Absolutely.
Right? So that was one thing that I was afraid of in the beginning. But then I was like, nah, like we got
Is
good
that
systems,
common
good
in the marketing world where people come in, work in an agency, learn the process of the agency, then spin up a new agency?
Yeah. I've had employees 2 years ago. We had an incident. The guy downloaded my whole email list and started basically calling all my leads that I paid for and all that. And we had to take him to court. That was a whole situation. Dude, that was absurd. Absolutely absurd. That was when we started tightening up on data and the cloud and all these things and user permissions and 2FA and all this crap that we do now. But like those things happen a lot more than people think.
Wow.
Or they'll start asking weird questions on an interview.
Yeah.
Like, what software you guys are using? Like, are you guys using a template? And it's like we start getting these questions.
Interview,
and I'm like, this is an interview.
You're interviewing us. Hold on a second. You're fishing for information so you can learn our process.
It's a big thing in the marketing space.
Yes. So talk to me a little bit about the right type of client. When does somebody start spending money on ads? Is it when they hit 100K? Is it when they hit 200K? Should someone consider ads from the onset of a business? And when you're working on scaling somebody's ads, what has to happen before you start scaling?
So first thing is that I put money into ads as soon as I had money. And that's just like a limiting belief thing that people have, is that, oh, I have to have this thing ready before I spend money on ads. Or people like, that's a whole offer validation thing. So to answer your second question, you have to have a validated offer. You have to have systems in place. You have to have fulfillment. You have to be able to have some type of success stories before you really start ramping up spend.
Yeah.
And you have to know your numbers. Like if you're just going to spend more money on ads and you don't know what your cost per call is, cost per show, lifetime value, cash flow, all these things, like you're just going to throw money at it and in hopes that you think you're profiting.
Yeah.
Right? Because a lot of business owners will say, oh, I spent all this money on ads and the leads are bad. They're not bad. How fast did you call them? Oh, I waited a couple hours. You didn't call them in 5 minutes? No, I don't have the systems for that. I don't have a setter.
They don't have
you're the problem.
Yeah.
And they don't want to admit that because then it's an ego battle.
Okay,
Yeah.
so this brings a very good point, because you can spend money on ads and get your customers right there to the doorstep, and you don't have the systems to be able to get them to cross through the door. So talk to me a little bit about what are you auditing for before you onboard a customer? What makes a customer a good customer? You said fulfillment being one of them, but what else goes into fulfillment?
Second's their offer. Like, offer is one of the most important parts. Like, if I see someone's headline on a landing page, I know if your business is doing well or not. I can just tell. Headline is everything. Headline depicts your avatar, results-driven promise, your unique mechanism, your infatuations. All these things are derived from your headline. Every single thing in your ecosystem is derived from your headline.
Yeah.
And that just starts from literally the ad copy, the landing page. Second thing I look for is like ecosystem. Like, how are you doing organically? What's your SEO like? Do you have affiliates? Like, what kind of partnerships do you have? What kind of content you make? Like, look at other things in the ecosystem and make them a good client or not. Because it means that they're willing to do those things. They know that they can follow procedure. Mm-hmm. So, like, if I know a client's doing X, Y, and Z, I'm like, okay, they have the, discipline to do X, Y, and Z, so they're not going to be a problem client. The problem clients are the ones who are like, yeah, I have money to spend. How fast can I make my money back? And I'm like, you don't run a business then. If that's what you think or what you look at, that's not how this works. And then the second is leadership. I look at their leadership. I'm like, hey, like, when we get partners and people on the phone who are part of a team,
right,
dude, I have a huge rule. If you join a Zoom call, I don't care how much money you have. I don't give a fuck. If you join on your phone, I cancel immediately. Join your phone, cancel.
Yep. Don't take the meeting seriously. Nope. You're not at a desk.
I'm like, bro, you're not at a desk. You just wasted my time.
We can't pull up in the charts. We can't look at the numbers because you're on the move.
I was like, this is crazy. And then I look at leadership. I look at how someone conducts a meeting.
Yeah.
Like, I look at very small things. But it's like, it all comes down to the offer, dude. Because the offer, there's two sides to an offer. There is too much front loading, or you're taking them to the back end too quick.
Yeah.
So, like, if I front load too much on an offer, I now lose out on all the extra money that I could upsell them on.
Meaning that you've given too much value away.
Too much value right away, to where maybe I'm trying to get you in the front end and get you on a good price point so you can become a customer.
Yeah.
But now you're a customer and I don't really have much to sell you.
Because you already front loaded everything, that you have nothing left in the tank, essentially. Mm-hmm. Got it. Okay. So that's one mistake people make.
And that's one mistake. And then the second mistake is that you're going so high ticket, but you don't have the authority, you don't have the sales team, and you don't have the credibility to be selling that kind of price point or that product.
So you price yourself out of the ideal market for your customer, essentially.
Because right now, like, we're in like a trust recession.
Yeah.
Like, we're finding it harder for people to trust things, and because all the online stuff. Like, I get it, like the coaching, the masterminds, all these things. Like, people buy so many things and they're like, it's information galore. Like, it's crazy. And then on top of it, it's like people, when they run ads, they now have dictated responsibility to the platform. And I think that's a bad thing. That's why people complain about algorithms on Instagram, like the algorithm. Like, no, you just suck at content. Like, just let's get your shit together. It's not the algo, it's you. Mm-hmm. Same thing with ads. They run the ads, they're like, ads don't work. And it's this thing where it's like, you need to take extreme ownership over things that you know you can control. And it's like, if you just want to quit really quick and you're not patient, like, just don't even bother doing it. Like, no one told you to run ads.
Yeah. And
it's just like, for me, I don't like, there's like two levels of patience. There's like, all right, enough is enough. And then there's like, no, it's coming. Like, give it time.
Yeah.
Ads are a big patience game, and people just do not have that anymore.
When it comes to ads, like, my team started getting me to start creating more ads, but we had ads that were already working really well. But for them, they feel like it's now important to have different variations almost of the exact same ad. Mm-hmm. Are you noticing like a shift in the ad space or in the algorithm space to where people are absorbing information, even though I might be saying the exact same thing? You need to offset your tax bill, but I'm saying maybe the first couple of parts of the words differently, or my hook is different in the beginning, even though I'm saying the exact same thing. Are you seeing that those ads are working really well? And why is that all of a sudden changing?
It's all about creative. Like, if I just ran the same ad over and over and over again, I'm going to get creative fatigue. And then it's going to eventually run out, and then CPMs will rise. So that's like cost per 1,000 impressions. My CPMs will go up. If I have more creatives, I have more opportunities to hit different avatars where it hurts. So like, some people respond to certain colors. Some people respond to different messaging. Some people respond to different storytelling or infatuations. Mm-hmm. So like, even on my own ads, like, I run a lot of creatives. I have like 90 to 100 creatives running all at once. Now, I'm tracking it very closely, like the video, the hook, the background. The backgrounds matter. Like, there's a huge thing people don't realize. Like, backgrounds are huge. It builds authority. It builds congruency to what you're selling. Like, so important. Also, I've been doing this new ad recently. You can definitely take this.
Yeah.
There's a short, like, attention span now more than ever. So I decided to run ads that were just a whiteboard with all the text on it. And I'm pointing my camera like this, like at the whiteboard. And the whiteboard has all the information about my product. I'm not even in the video. Yeah. I'm just holding it saying, if you want to raise your ROAS, here's the 4 things you need to do, offer, landing page. And I'm just saying it and like reading it off the whiteboard. And those have outperformed every other ad because I'm just giving it to you all.
Right
it's
there
like
for you to read.
In a video. Yeah.
It's how people like to receive information right now, and you're fatiguing people with just straight video. So what you've done is I'm going to make you read even though I'm saying the thing on the video.
And everyone's seen the same thing now where it's like the same reels, the same subtitles, the same pattern. 3 years ago, it was new. It was cool to have the cool subtitles.
Now everyone's doing it. Everyone has a nice microphone, and everyone's saying, swipe up, click the link below, and it's just fatiguing people.
Yeah. Wow. So now they need new stuff. So now it's whiteboard. The second one for me is simple images. I can't stress to you enough how much better my ad performance is with just simple Canva graphics. I have a done-for-you webinar offer where I build webinars in 14 days, and all I have on my winning ad is a white background, black text. Done-for-you webinar in 14 days. Nothing else. Nothing else.
Video?
No video, no logo. Dude, a 3-year-old.
Straight text ad.
3-year-old could have made it. And I
Canva.
do stuff on my notepad. So like the notes on your phone, I'll write the offer and screenshot it, and that's the ad. It looks like it's a note.
Stop.
But it's really just like an image. So like that's the stuff that I'm doing now is just simple, straight to the point shit.
And these are just straight Google and Facebook ads?
Well, Facebook and IG, Google, I only use Google for retargeting.
Okay.
Because people go like you have your podcast, you have your tax firm, people go to Google right now and they're searching, Karlton Dennis. And then it's like, no one's hitting them there. And that's going to be the most searched term.
Yeah.
Like with your traffic, I can bet any amount of money you can get an extra 50-ish to 75 clicks a day if you hit Google retargeting, and those people will be the best buyers. Like on Facebook, I'll get like a 4 to 6x return. On Google, I get like a 30 to 40 because they go to Google and search Jason Wojo, and then my ad pops up first.
Yes.
And they're like, sponsored. Google sponsored this fucker? Okay, I'm in. So now the credibility, and I'm like, bro, I paid for the spot. I was like, nice try. So
mentally, they're just like, whoa.
So then they intrinsically just like, that's an authority thing.
Yes.
And also it's proof of concept. I'm running an ad firm, so if I don't pop up there, they'd be like, wait a minute.
Wait, doesn't he do ads? Like, wouldn't he know to do this? Like, bro's skipping a step here.
And then also what we started doing was TV retargeting ads. So like there's a platform called Vibe. Okay, VIBE. You can start for like $50, $100 a day.
Yeah.
Really small budget. And you can retarget all your website visitors right on their Hulu, ESPN, ABC, CBS, all that shit off the streaming app. So if they're on Hulu and they have the subscription for like CBS or they're on the free trial, you can hit them with ads right on like global networks. Yeah, bro.
Why is no one talking about this? Is this like known in the marketing space? No one's hit me with that.
Bro.
No one on my team has pitched that. It's called Vibe.
It's called Vibe, VIBE. Yeah, bro, it's free to sign up. You just put your budget and you get on a call with a demo person and like, dude, here's the reason why no one talks about it, because no one, like, there's only a certain amount of people. This whole online space is very small.
Yeah,
if you
bro.
really break it down,
and
it really
doesn't
is.
seem like the marketers really like to be forthcoming with strategies, bro. Like in the space of business, marketers are the one people, if you ask me, that are gatekeepers, bro. They don't like sharing what works.
See, here's the thing with me is that I don't care about sharing stuff because I know no one will do it, because no one will spend more money than I do on ads. That's why I don't mind giving the shit out. If I'm like, yo, go to Vibe. And
that's such a bold statement. No one's outspending.
Like, go to eBoov and put your videos on eBoov and retarget all your plays and get 50%, video plays, and then put that on a lookalike. I could tell you everything, but no one's going to do it because they're going to search up the websites. They're going to see how expensive the softwares are. They're going to see how expensive it is to set up, and they're going to be like, fuck it. No, I'm good.
That was a great idea. We'll save it, pocket it for another day. Jason, this is gold, bro. We're going to have to talk after this, but I want the audience to hear something because I see Alex Hormozi talk about this, and I see you talk about this, which is having an irresistible offer. One, what is an irresistible offer, and how would someone even think about crafting one?
So when I look at offers, I look at this is a good example. I'll break one down. I had a client this morning who just came on, and she was teaching B2B sales reps how to book 5 to 10 meetings per week. That was her offer off LinkedIn. Okay. When you look at an offer like that, I, with my knowledge, will sit there and go, they don't give a fuck about the meetings. They just want to make more money.
Right.
So I'm sitting there with her and I'm like, how much can they actually make if they do this? She's like, oh, they can probably hit 25, 30K a month. I'm like, the headline needs to be, reveal how B2B sales reps are hitting 30K a month while booking 5 to 10 extra meetings a week. And that's how you fix the headline. And then now you run that. So I look for offers that hit good pain points, have realistic results-driven promises, not some of these idiots online who are like, yeah, make $1 million, you do an e-com. That guy's an idiot. Like all these bold claims. You got to give like a realistic outcome.
Yeah.
Right. So I have some clients who do tax offers, and they do, these things where like, hey, we guarantee you 5 figures in tax savings.
Yeah.
I'm like, are you sure that you can do this? Because I don't want to push this shit and you get someone on the phone and they're like, we didn't do this, we didn't do the lease equipment and all these things that I'm starting to learn. And I'm like, okay, you're going to get in trouble.
Yeah.
So it's realistic, like being realistic. And then second is the results-driven promise. Third is avatar. And fourth is unique mechanism. So like whatever you call your system has to have a unique name. Okay, so you can't just be like, yeah, I save you money on taxes. No, like this blah, blah, blah system that I created over X amount of years and this amount of tax savings, like this is the system that I'm going to break down for you if you book a call below or see if you qualify. Yes. You got to give that curiosity point to it.
Yep.
Also, with irresistible offers, it comes down to how do I make this one sentence results-driven promise so good that if you read it, you want it. Even the person who's writing it. Mm-hmm. So it's like, it is about copy, it is about persuasion, but it's not about manipulating the market. It's about persuading them into understanding that this is the solution that they need. Because if I just went online and said, I run ads, no one's clicking on the shit. Yeah. No one's going to click. No one cares. So it's like, also with irresistible offers comes ascension and back end. So I look for really good low-hanging fruit front-end offers where I know that whatever product you're giving will get them in the door. And then we can actually build ascensions around it and build lifetime value. Yes. Because you could have a great results-driven promise and a great irresistible offer, but if you sell all the stuff up front, now your lifetime value decreases. And now it's like now you're fighting against the advertising tide with rising costs and competition on the feed. It's just, it's harder than ever.
Yeah. That's what made me become a true advisory firm, to be honest with you, bro. Because what I realized is my offer was incredible in 2021 when I came out with like my private client group, and I was saving tons of people money. But what I realized is it's a hard, steep road to come back to signing up for $32,000, and I didn't have any other sticky product on the back end. Fast forward a year later, I realized, okay, well, why don't I come back and be the one that files their tax returns and sets up their LLCs and helps them get into the investment property, do cost segregation studies. And it creates all these other ancillary services on the back end, which also creates stickiness. Now my clients are coming back to me because I set up that LLC, I did the cost seg on that investment property, and I saw the strategies into the tax return. I didn't just give you the tax plan and helped you go over the plan. Mm-hmm. I actually saw it all the way into the returns and created.
Do you do bookkeeping too?
We do accounting as well. It's just not a big part of our business. And I don't put a lot of emphasis on trying to scale accounting, knowing that like I feel like AI tools are really going to predominantly take over accounting. So it's just become less of a focus for mine to scale accounting. But it's absolutely something we do as well. Yeah. Super sticky.
Yeah. That stuff like Cardone. Yeah. Dude, they have so many freaking products there. Like it is absurd. Like we're on their bookkeeping. We did their E360. I'm in the Elite 125. I'm 400 grand in. Like, bro, there's so many freaking products. Yeah. And it's like, that's the whole piece is that you get them for a $997 business boot camp ticket and then you're leading up into 6 figures in sales. And it's like, I just like really good front end offers that capture a result that everybody knows is obtainable, that they know they want, that has like a different twist. Also, this is a cool thing that I've been doing is offers also come down to what you say on the phone. Okay. So like, for example, is like our done for you webinar offer. Okay, what we do instead is we just say, hey, listen, here's the price, but we're going to let you pay half now and half when you make your money back on the first investment. Ooh. And we do that instead, and it crushes on the phone.
That's almost like an irresistible offer on the phone.
Yes.
And so do you give it as a fast action?
Yes, it's fast action. And if they take action on the phone, we build their slides for them. Fucking dynamite. Whoa. Dynamite, dude. It's so good that They see it on the front and they're like, oh, done for you webinar in 14 days. I like that. Yeah. Case studies, slide deck. Then they get on the phone and they're like, this must be expensive. No, because here's how we break it up. And we only get our second payment when you make the first payment back. Yep. And if you pay on the phone, you get the slides, which gets you a higher chance of success. So now they're like, damn, good landing page, good sales process. This is a good fucking offer. Mm-hmm. And now it's like, it's not just the irresistible offer on the front end, it's what you say on the phone too and how you give them like on-call bonuses and stuff like that.
Someone's watching this right now and is probably thinking, okay, why would I pay a marketing agency to build a webinar if I already know what I teach on? Couldn't I just create a PowerPoint presentation and just go and market it to people? Can you explain how sometimes that just doesn't work?
So people will spend more money and time trying to do things themselves because they have a control problem. They don't want to give it up. They're like, oh, no, I can get this. I can go on YouTube and find free videos.
Yes.
To be very fair, why are those things free?
Yeah.
You know, it's like, so when you look at somebody who's had the track record where it's like right now we run like over 100 plus webinars. Our team's managing shit around the clock. And it's like, we have all these webinars that we've ran.
Yeah.
Okay. We can take all those slide decks and build them into a slide that I know works. So like, that's what I did 2 months ago. We had about 70 webinars running. I took all 70. I fucking dissect every single slide. Mm-hmm. And I was like, okay, this slide is better than this one. And I just mixed and matched them. And I built a 170-page slide deck of what I know does the best. And I went through all these webinars. Okay, I gave them fill in the blanks that we built. Yeah. And then I was like, okay, let me actually like go through the stats of what made the most money. So we had like 15 clients. We had a leaderboard. Here's the 15 clients made the most money. Take these webinars, and I'm going to go make a better slide deck based on why these 15 did so well. Mm-hmm. And then I just rebuilt the slide deck again, and now the shit slaps, period.
Wow. I don't think I've ever worked with a marketing agency that's like gone through my slide deck to audit my slides. I build out all my webinars myself, bro.
Do you really?
Yeah, every webinar I've ever done, I've worked with my copywriter. He's been my voice on my YouTube channel since I grew my YouTube. And him and I just work on what my message needs to come across like making sure I sound authentic. Yeah. But I've never stopped and had someone strategically tell me exactly what I should be doing in the first 3 slides, and then the 5 to 8 slides, and then how I close out, fast action, none of that. I've always just kind of done what I've seen other people do from webinars that I've been on and just crafted my own. Yeah. I really would want to know what type of steam I could really put on top of my webinars if I actually had them curated. You know,
dude, it's all about offer stack, and then it's about like the temptation at the end. So I tell stories in the middle of my webinars that then lead them into getting a piece of the product. So like there's a part in my webinar where I'm like, you know, I was once like you 5 years ago. I memorized all this shit. I was just like you 5 years ago. I would come to these trainings and do nothing with it because you know what? I had absolutely no fucking clue what I was doing. I thought I was doing because I was motivated, but motivation doesn't pay the bills.
Yes.
Right? So what I want you to type in the chat is done for you. Like I'm pre-framing their mind. Done for you. And then after that, I throw the bonus with the slides. And then I'm like, type in the chat, money-making slides. I'm getting everyone to tell themselves what they need. So it's pre-framing the chat.
I need money-making slides. Yep. Put it in the chat box, money-making slides. You're getting me hyped up right now.
And then like I get to the whole ROI piece. Yeah. And I'm like, you know, hit 20K ROI. And they're all typing it in the chat. Like, we're going to make 20K before you get paid again, 20K ROI, 20K. Now they're just, conviction. And then the last part, I'm just like, type in the chat, action if you want the link. Like, I'm giving them words and stuff that, like, really makes them understand.
Drop the link, please, Jason.
Yeah.
Jason, and then, drop the link.
Yeah. And then I split the payment at the end. I'm like, you want to get as many results with as little risk. So here's what I want to do for you because you're on the call. For just 3 of you tonight, I'm going to make you pay 10K now and 10K later. Okay?
Okay.
If I'm decreasing the ROI contingency, does that mean that the fee should also do the same? No. Mm-mm. So now introducing a 2x ROI contingency. So now you pay 10K and you only pay 10K when we make you 20. So now we're doubling the money you make in the beginning. So then we drop that, and then I drop the slides, and then I say at the end, hey, you know, I want to pay you for your time. Because this isn't about me, this is about you, and you need to hold yourself to a higher standard. So I'm going to give you 5K off the front and back end. So $2,500 today and $2,500 when you make your investment. So $7,500, and then $7,500 when you make 15K because the 2x. And dude,
that's a fast action bonus right there. And then, what would you say is like a amount of money that you're spending on a webinar like that to get show up looking like what? To then a conversion to look like what?
So I will spend on mine, I'll spend about $7 to $15K a week on my webinar.
Okay.
About $1,000 to $2,000 a day. I'll get about 200 people in there, and I will probably scoop about 75 to 90K.
Nice.
So like, you know, it's give and take, but that's the thing that people don't see. Is I'm getting half the money and still getting a 12x return.
Yes.
When they get their money back, I get all the back end lifetime value. Then when they onboard, then I'm selling them an AI setter. I'm selling them on content because people who post videos every single day, their webinars do better. So now they're on the onboarding call getting the content package for 30 videos a month, and they're just stacking it all.
Yeah.
To where I'm basically going to get that second payment a third time because of the upsells that they get for the 4 months.
Yes.
So
That
it's
is
like,
crazy. That's the perfect way to do your offer because you already know I just need you on. Because once I get you in the door and then you find success,
and the best part is they come to week 1. What if they don't buy? Who cares?
Yeah.
I don't care because you're going to get thrown in the automation for next week. I keep spamming every week until you come and buy. So there's people who come on week 1, they got money, they do it. But then there's people every week, like I did it Thursday night, last night.
Yeah.
Some girl was there. I'm like, Julie, this has been your 6th fucking webinar. You've been on here 6 times, Julie. What are we doing? She's like, fine, I'm in. And I'm like,
is Julie in?
Thank God. Yeah, she's in.
Let's
After
go,
her
Julie.
card declined 4 times, but it worked.
Hey, Julie's
I was
in.
like, damn.
That's all that matters. She's across the finish line, man.
And I was like, dude, these people come on here every week. They're just like dedicated to being learners.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is the wrong place to be. You become a learner once you have money. Like, let's be real. Like, I just want people to take shit off my plate. And then when I have money in the bank and I'm not stressed about money, now I want to learn about real estate and learn about this and learn about that. Now I can learn because I have money that now gives me the money for my time that I'm now wasting to learn, but I already figured out how to make money.
I love that.
And that's the whole point of it. Like, I read now more than ever. I learn stuff more than ever because I have time. But like 5 years ago, bro, I didn't have time. I was in fight or flight mode. I was like, damn, where is my next customer coming from? Am I going to eat next week? Like,
Working
what the
18
hell?
hours a day is absolutely insane. When you start working with people who are considering crossing over the gap to wanting to have a webinar, wanting to run ads, but their biggest fear is, I have to be the one to do it. I have to be the one to do the videos. I have to be the one to be on camera and do the course. How do you get a customer that has a great offer, a great service, a great product to get out of their own way so they can actually do what's required of them to put their ideas and thoughts out into the world?
So I asked them 2 questions. I asked them, are you the only person you trust to pitch your product as well as you do? Do you trust anybody else? And they'll say yes, or obviously they're going to say no. Okay, so now we know that you're the only person that you trust. The second question is you say you have a good product, but are you scared to push it out there because you know there's flaws and you might get called a scam? And then that's where we start to find the real reasons why they don't think they're ready.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if this is going to happen. What if a client says this? Like, I've only had 10 people or whatever it is. Like, some limiting belief hits them.
Yeah.
Or I'm not famous. I don't have a blue check mark. All this dumb shit. It's like all these things come up in their mind, and I'm like, okay, so how can we help you refine the offer? How do we do this? Or whatever the case may be, whatever we got to do to get over your limiting beliefs. Yeah. It's always a limiting belief, dude. Like, you just got to read off slides. You mute everybody in the room. No one can voice their opinion, right? Some people, yeah, like, I have a lot of traffic, so people come in my chat and they're like, skinny shit. I'm like, I'm going to get hate, so I got to delete them and block them, and it's like, I don't really care, but like, you're going to get hate. You're going to get people in there who are like, she's pitching, pitch fast. Like, you're going to get people in the webinar who say stuff like that.
Yep.
But you got to be able to brush that stuff off. That's just consumer, knowledge. But like, with that, I always say, like, hey, listen, like, if you really want to make money, you told me you want to make money.
Yep. Are you willing to do what's required in order for that to happen? So I want to ask you, what has been working right now in the marketing space? We see people doing challenges. We see people running automated challenges. We're now seeing people move out of automated webinars, it almost seems like. What is actually working in the marketing space?
So first thing is webinars, for sure.
Okay.
Because you're able to get past the whole trust recession thing. Right? If you're going one-to-one calls and you don't have a lot of authority, why don't we just get that one person to show up with 70 other people staring at you, because now you've built social proof without even saying a word. So like, that's the first way that I've seen, like, webinars are getting higher return on ad spends than I've ever seen. Second is going to be when you go free webinar to a $197, $297 challenge, and then you do the challenge and upsell the high ticket.
Yes.
That's the second funnel. And then the third funnel, live events.
Really?
Live events, bro, for sure.
It feels like people have been moving away from live events. I mean, Funnel Hacking Live is no longer doing a Funnel Hacking Live event. Grant Cardone's 10X event is no longer doing his 10X event. I mean, some of the big players have pivoted from this. So why would you feel like live events are rising?
The biggest reasons why they're pivoting away from the bigger events is because after running events for so long, I know how much they're spending on those events. Those are rah-rah, like
Global
events. People are coming. They're not looking to spend money. It's a community event. It's not an upsell-based intimate workshop event.
Yeah.
So Karlton, if you go to their website, bro, their schedule, they run 180 events a year. 180 events a year, from workshops to the boot camps. Bro, it's absurd.
Yeah.
Those workshops and boot camps, they make crazy money. Like, we were at the business boot camp, and Karlton was like, kind of, he's a jokester.
Mm-hmm.
But he was joking about like, oh, like we're on day 3 and we already made 15 million already. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, like 15 million in 3 days?
Yeah.
Like, I'm so poor. And like, they like do these workshops and they get you to, buy their products. They got 110 salespeople on the floor. One salesperson for every 7 people. And like, bro, it's crazy. You walk in there, you're getting swarmed with clipboards. People are talking about this X360. It's 40,000. It's an event. And then you go to the 180 platform, then the 400 Elite. It's crazy.
Wow.
So that's where they make more of their money. At 10X, it's very like, bring all the guest speakers, let them pitch. We get a percentage. Everyone's just like a random avatar. They don't really make a lot of money at those events. That's for them to build their list.
Yeah.
So they started stopping them because of rising ad costs, because they don't make as much money off the events anymore.
Got you.
Now it's through these centralized niche events.
Yeah.
Like, hey, if you're X and want help with X, like, come to this.
Yeah.
This is not some like community, bunch of booths and, fucking charades, whatever the hell people do at these events. But like, yeah, like it's not a community event. It's a conversion event or a mastermind. So,
what's the difference between a boot camp and a workshop? Because in my mind, I'm almost visualizing the same thing.
It's basically the same thing. Yeah, people call it boot camps. People call it workshops. People have new names for all this crap.
Yeah.
It's like,
and is this something you want people to come show up to? Like when Karlton's running his boot camps, I know that they're doing them probably at his facility, and they're bringing people and curating a boot camp or 10X Ladies with Elena. So they're bringing people in for an intimate 2 days, or is it a 1 day and then pitch?
Ours was a 4-day.
So it's a 4-day boot camp.
So it's a 4-day if you buy a certain ticket. If you get VIP, you get an extra half a day.
Okay.
So it becomes 4 days. And then the other thing too is, man, they make money off the hotel affiliates. So when they get those hotel room links and they send them to you, they're getting paid off the hotel the hotel links in the room block. So like they want you to stay as long as possible so they can get their cut. And then like when you're there for 4 days, that gives you 4 days to sell you.
Yep.
And that's why it's a longer event.
Yep.
But like, yeah, I mean, 3-4 days, dude, those are long. Like Tony Robbins does 4 or 5 day events.
Yeah, boot camp
because
style.
his offers are so expensive. Like on the last 2 days or whatever, he's selling 70, 100Ks, 150s for year masterminds and all this stuff. And it's like, you got to emotionally get people into that mindset for days.
Yes.
To sell that kind of offer in 1 day is very tough. Very, very tough.
When do you see an offer working very well on a 3-day versus a 5-day challenge? Because I do a 5-day challenge and I have a ticket price that's like, pretty high up there. So I do a 5-day challenge to kind of spend more time with people. But I've been advised that, because of people's ability to want to stay onto a 5-day challenge, it might make more sense from a retention perspective.
I would go 3.
To try 3-day.
Yeah, I would do 3-day. And then you just open the door for an hour of Q&A each day. And you just take those extra 2 days that you were going to have drop off and just add a little bit of extra intimate time where it's like a Q&A with you.
Got it.
And you add that intimacy instead where it's like the access and support angle.
Yeah.
And then you get them, because Dan Henry does a lot of 3-day challenges and he sells a 50K on them.
Dan Henry's awesome. He's been in the space for a while. Definitely.
So he does a 50K on 3 days and he sells it like it's freaking water.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy, dude. Like, it's absurd.
He's been doing challenges for a minute. And that guy definitely knows how to sell. And someone who else I saw started to do free challenges was Iman. Explain to me the free challenge model. Why would you go free versus paid? How does that really convert? You probably have like a low show up rate, but for him, he had hundreds of thousands of people on that challenge, it looked like.
So the thing with Iman is he gets people to do the challenges because he owns a piece of WAP now. So those free challenges only started when he became a co-founder of WAP. And the reason why is because if you buy his product, it's hosted in WAP, and then you run your payments through WAP.
Payment
so
processor.
That's where he's getting paid. Yeah, that's his whole angle on it. I mean, I still run free webinars because I want to build the email list. Like,
of course.
I love building my email list. I think it's one of the biggest, most lethal things that people disregard.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't want to spam people. I want to send them any emails. Dude, we go hard on email.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, shit. Email till they buy or die. Like, just go hard. So like I like building the list, and I also like having this thing every single week that just keeps texting you and reminding you, and you're always in the back of like, I'm always in the back of your brain.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's touch points. It's the whole 27 rule, right? I need to get you to watch 27 minutes of content, 27 texts, 27 emails, or a 27-minute call to get you to buy something.
Interesting.
It's all 27 touch points. That's like just industry average. If I just get someone to do something 27 times. So if someone watches your content once a day for 27 days and they book a call, they're a better lead than someone who just saw an ad, clicked, and booked a call.
Oh, without a doubt.
So it's like, that's the whole 27 rule, and I try to go for that very, very heavily. So it's either like free case studies that we text, the reminders for the emails, and the reminders for the webinar, text, email, content, stories, like AI setter calling, a real setter calling, freaking anything. Like just trying to get you to 27 as fast as possible.
Yeah. Now, a lot of people in the space, started catching on to the idea of doing things automated. I even had an automated webinar that used to push like one of my products, and it did really well. But because of the direction we were going in, we just stopped getting our buyers to like show up to that automated webinar and started doing more of the challenge funnels and the VSL funnels. But I'm seeing people do automated challenges, and especially this one guy who's teaching a bookkeeping offer. I know that he was doing really well. I think he was doing challenges every single week. Can you talk to us about how successful or not successful automated challenges and webinars are, and why someone would or wouldn't venture into that?
So personally, I would not do automated webinars. I don't see a lot of them as much. I see, I don't know who that person's name is, but I've seen an automated webinar for a bookkeeping offer. So
yeah, it's like Bookkeeping person. Bill or Bookkeeping
yes.
Dan's. Yeah.
I've seen that. And then the only other person I know that runs an automated like webinar is Karlton. So those are the only two people that I've seen run automated. You lose a lot of people when they find out. That's the problem. Mm-hmm. Like it's got to be so clean to where they don't know it's automated. So you got to have an admin in the chat. You got to have, CSMs or managers like managing people in there, and you're not the one presenting. That's the only way that it would make sense. Mm-hmm. But you got to have more systems to suffice the automated webinar, when personally, I'd rather just go live for 1 hour a week and just like fucking make my money and get off.
Yeah, absolutely.
And why have all the extra payroll? Like, why don't I just do the 1 hour, send it to the sales team? Why do all these CSMs, extra money for no reason? I'll just sell one-to-many for an hour. Like, regardless of where you're at in your business, Karlton goes live for an hour on lives. Like, these guys make $500 million a year and they still do 1 hour. You should not be running automated to drop conversion rates. Like, just do the 1 hour.
I totally agree with you on that.
So it's like, yeah.
I totally agree with you on that. Bro, this has been a masterclass, if you ask me, on what to do in marketing. But for somebody that has already found success in marketing, I hear this all the time. Well, then why don't they just spend more money on ads? Why is it not as just simple as just spending more money on ads? Because
you have fulfillment, you have a sales team, you have all these different things that can go on and on about. But like the only way that we were able to raise our ad spend was when our sales team was massively locked in and motivated. Second is that our product was consistently fulfillable on. And third is that we kept employees that didn't churn. Mm-hmm. Like, and those three things were really important. A lot of organizations, they don't want to admit it, but they have shitty leadership, a shitty model, and they're a shitty leader.
Yeah.
And they don't want to admit that, or they're just bad at hiring. Like they do the whole hire quick, fire fast. Like I agree with that, but we still take 70 to 80 interviews for each hire. Like we have to, like, dude, most people lie during interviews. I'm like, yo, 75% of you fuckers are going to lie. So like, we just got to like take those and just get them out. So we do a lot of interviews for a hire because we just want A players, and it's hard to find A players.
Yeah.
It's like combing through, like a whole haystack for a needle. And it's something where when I go to organizations and they're not scaling their spend, like, why are you not spending more money? Like, no, it's not the money. I'm like, bro, let's break this down.
Yeah.
There's something affecting the cash flow that I don't see that's blinding you right now. Mm-hmm. Because if I gave you 100 customers today, could you actually fulfill for them? For me, no, I could fulfill for 50 in one day.
Right.
I could do 50, but not 100. So now I'm sitting there going, why is our team not set up for 100 new customers in one day? That is a lot of fucking customers in one day. But like, let's just be honest. Yeah. It's because maybe our hiring funnel needs to be more efficient, or our training takes too long. Maybe instead of a 3-week training, we train people in 14 days. Like there's small things in the business that are bottlenecks that most people ignore because they don't think they're expensive problems until they become expensive.
Yeah.
Because then what happens is you're spending money on ads and you have one employee who's key man risk. You got that one person who's key man risk.
Yep.
They quit, and all of a sudden you're like, no, it's the ads. I'm like, no, that guy just quit and you didn't have a replacement because your business and ecosystem is a shit show. And you're just a cash flow giant with paid traffic. But you're not a business who can take on predictable traffic. Mm-hmm. So it's like just these small things that I see.
Yeah.
It's crazy, bro. And that leaks into other things I see in the online space. Like the online space is weird, dude. That's why I like stay out of some of the shit. I'm just like, it's just like weird. But I see people do things and I'm like, bro, there's no way that you're going to validate that. I've had people tell me, okay, I'm religious, but there was this guy who said to me the other day, he was like, yeah, I just wasn't meant to scale. Like, God told me I should make more money. And I'm like, bro, what are you talking about? He's like, yeah, me and my wife and our kids, like, we just like making 150 grand a month. And I was like, but why are you running ads if you don't want to scale? Why do I see your ads if you don't want to scale? And I had this conversation with him. Mm-hmm. And I was just like, dude, like, just be honest, bro. Like, it's not that great. You don't have a good product. Like, just be upfront with me. Like, I'm trying to help you. And he's like, yeah, dude, be honest. Like, I can't keep salespeople. I'm like, duh, ding, ding. Like, there it was the whole time.
Wow.
And I'm not even God, so, like, I got it. Like, it's crazy, dude. Like, people do these things to validate why they shouldn't scale or why they like their margins or whatever. And it's like, if you're a solopreneur who makes good money, you have good margins, and you want to, make X amount of money, you want to live your life, like, go for it. But then don't sit there and be like, yeah, my ads aren't working, or, oh, I can't afford X, or, oh, I don't want to buy X program.
You didn't get the right resources to support you.
It's crazy, dude. So people now validate this stuff with the whole, like, laptop culture, financial freedom, and, like, traveling. I'm
nomad.
like, bro.
Yeah, okay.
I've traveled. Trust me, it's fun for like 2 seconds, and then you realize that your plane's 14 hours and you want to jump off the plane.
And you want to get back home in your comfortable bed, back to your man cave, where you also have your sauna and your ice bath and every other amenity that you built into your cave. Jason, this has been absolutely incredible, man. And but before we jump off here, because I definitely want to make sure people understand where to go, what's an ideal client to work with an agency of your caliber now? Obviously, you found a lot of success. You work with a lot of big people in the space, and you have one of the biggest brands in the marketing agency. So who are the types of customers that would be an ideal fit to work with your company? And who are the people that you would say, probably would work better with someone else?
Someone who's doing at least, $50K a month. You're willing to spend $300-ish a day in ads. You have good leadership, you have a good product, you can fulfill, and you can actually, like, double your business over a quarter and not have a bunch of, like, bad issues happen. And then also, like, you're actually going to listen to things that we tell you to do. When I tell you go hire more salespeople or go do X or the website needs to be redone or SEO, like, you actually do what I say. So I would probably say another characteristic is, like, less ego. I'm tired of people telling me, I know, I get it. No, you don't. And you would have done it by now if you got it.
100%.
So it's like the ego thing is huge with business owners. When you talk to other business owners, they always have an ego about shit. And I'm just like, oh my God, I can't do it. So
business owners get in their own way all the time, and it's crazy. They get in their own way when it comes to taxes. They get in their own way when it comes to marketing. And it's the visionary sometimes that a business owner has, but mainly it's what you said. It's the control. It's the control. They want to be in control of everything. They feel their success rides on them.
Yeah, because in the beginning, they controlled the outcomes because they were on their own. Now they have to deal with people controlling their outcomes.
Yes.
And they don't like that shit. Oh, hell no.
Jason, where can people follow you at, man?
Yeah, they can go on Instagram at the Jason Wojo. They can also go to our website, thewojomedia.com. And yeah.
Thank you so much for joining us, man.
Of course.
Glad to have you on.
Appreciate it, bro.
Till next time.
Yes.